You found a rental car for $145, 5 days. You compared, you took the cheapest, you read the terms. 5 days later, you hand back the keys and the bill says $507. 80 of those dollars were on it before you ever reached the counter. Taxes and fees on that rental added 55% on top of the price of the car itself. Take that same 5-day rental through 60 American cities this April. There isn't one where the advertised rate is the price you pay. And this is not an American oddity. In Britain, the price you are first shown has to be the price you pay. That has been the law since April last year. They asked British renters this year. 1 in 8 said they still paid more than they were quoted. Across Europe last year, 6,000 complaints about hiring a car. But a percentage is a total, and a total is what you get when nobody itemizes. Every one of those charges has its own name. That is where this stops being about tax. When a rental bill comes back wrong, we all look in the same 2 places. The insurance at the desk and the fuel you didn't quite top up. So let's read the part nobody looks at, and I'll rebuild it into one receipt at the end. Start at the airport because that's where most of us pick the car up. There's a line on an American rental invoice called the Airport Concession Recovery Fee. A concession is what a business pays an airport for the right to trade inside it. 11.11% of everything you spend. Different brand, different airport, the exact same number because the contracts cap it there. Then the energy recovery fee. 50 cents to $3 for utility charges, bus fuel, oil and grease. Hertz explains it on a page you were never going to open, and this is their wording. The fee is not intended to reflect a precise measure of their actual energy costs incurred to serve a particular customer. They wrote that down, about the charge with your name on it. And a hotel concession fee recovery. The commission they paid your hotel for sending you to them, billed back to you. You're covering their referral fee for referring you. Together, they add 25% to the advertised price, and not one of them is a thing you did. They're the cost of being a car rental company itemized like you ordered it. And before anyone calls that an American problem, pick up a parking fine in a Europe car hire car. They charge £50 just to pass your name to the authorities. The fine is still yours. Now the 2 that catch you on the way back. Bring it back below the fuel line you got it at. Hertz charges about $9 a gallon to fill it. 3 times what that fuel costs at the pump 5 minutes down the road. Half a tank is $70. That isn't the price of fuel. That's the price of being slightly late. Then tolls. Go through one and Avis charges $6.95 for the day. Hertz charges $5.95 a day with no cap. And they bill the toll at the full cash rate, while the transponder stuck to the glass quietly earns the discount. New York City's comptroller ran one trip out of Brooklyn. $22 of tolls for a normal driver, $41 in a rental. And fuel and admin charges are named on Europe's own car hire complaints list too. Nobody's watching this from a safe distance. Which brings us to the desk, the bit you were braced for. Alicante and Malaga airports. August 2024. Testers walk up with hidden cameras. An agent tells them one scratch could cost €760 if they don't take the desk's cover. Another tells them out loud that they have no protection at all when that company's own terms said they did. Spain's National Consumer Organization found 5 named firms adding premium insurance to bookings by default. Misleading, abusive, and possibly illegal, they called it. Then they filed a formal complaint. And before you blame the person behind that counter, notice that the industry doesn't. Their own trade press said it in July. The upsell isn't a staff problem training can fix. It's built into how the staff get paid and how a location makes its money. Here's the part I wasn't ready for, that product they pushed so hard. Britain's biggest consumer group priced 1 week of it in Spain back in March. At the Europcar desk, £287. Hertz, cheapest of the big brands, $169. The best policy they tested, same week, same cover, bought from an insurer instead, £12. Both protect the same thing. The excess, the slice of a damage bill you pay yourself before any cover starts. The deductible if you're American. Same excess, same week, 23 times the price. And £30 buys it for a whole year anywhere in Europe. In the States, it's the same product at the same desk for $10 to $30 a day. So the one thing you've been guarding this entire time isn't priced by risk. It's priced by where you were standing when you bought it. And it's still the smaller half of this bill. Then they take the deposit. 200 to 1,500 euros depending on the car and on how much cover you turn down. It's built out of your excess, plus a full tank, plus whatever you're paying for locally. Say no at the desk and they freeze 1,500 euros of your holiday money. Say yes and it shrinks. That isn't security, that's a price on the word no. Germany's European Consumer Center sees what comes next often enough to log it as a pattern. Your card gets declined for reasons they call technical, and the only way out they offer you is buying their insurance. And where that money goes depends on your card. That part works the same wherever you rent. On credit, it's blocked, never transferred. On debit, it isn't blocked, it's taken. Enterprise says so plainly in the States, and it can be 20 working days coming home. Return day, and this is where it gets strange. Hertz runs returned cars through AI scanners now. One customer got charged $440 for a wheel scrape about an inch long, $250 for the repair, $125 for processing, and $65 for admin. Fixing the scratch is one line. Noticing it is two more. And these bills land late. 28% of gold car renters reported surprise charges, sometimes weeks after returning the car. By then, you're home, the car is gone, and the only record of its condition is a form you signed in 90 seconds with a queue behind you. New Jersey's Attorney General settled with Enterprise after allegations it billed people for damage they didn't cause. Read the remedies backwards. The company had to start writing down damage that was already there, getting your signature, telling you within 5 working days. Somebody had to be legally compelled to do that. So the receipt. Denver, 5 days, advertised at $29 a day, $145 of car. Taxes and fees, 55%, $225. You still haven't spoken to a human being, and you're at 1.5 times the ad. Waiver at the desk, $25 a day, $350. Tolls on 3 of the days, $371. Half a tank down on return, $442. Second driver, $507. 3.5 times. Let's get 2 things straight. Only that first step is compulsory. The rest you can avoid one at a time. And $29 a day is a real advertised rate, not the American average, which is closer to $47. That percentage was measured on a $50 car, so on a cheaper one, the flat fees bite harder. This is the polite version, and Europe gets there off 1 line instead of 5. A week at 25 euros a day is 175. Add the one insurance product they sell you at the desk at Europcar's price, and you're at 505, nearly triple off one charge. You agreed to the 145. The other 362 was agreed on your behalf. Here's what gets me. Almost none of this is legally hidden anymore. In 2019, the European Commission made Avis, Europcar, Enterprise, Hertz, and Sixt promise that the website price would be the final price. 6 years after those promises, Spain's consumer body named 3 of the same 5. And the Federal Trade Commission wrote its junk fees rule, described this exact behavior in car rental, then left car rental out of the final version. The lines didn't disappear when the law arrived, they moved. Out of the headline price, down the page, past the checkout, onto the counter, and onto a receipt you read in an airport car park at 11 at night, which is why the defense takes about 10 minutes. Buy the excess cover from an insurer before you fly, not at the desk. £12 a week against 287. Check what your own card covers first. It varies by card and by country. Then just say no at the counter. Price the car away from the airport. In the States, the terminal costs about 18% more than the same car downtown. because that concession fee only exists while you're standing in one. Fill the tank yourself. Put the deposit on a credit card, never a debit card. And film the whole car in one take before you drive off and again when you bring it back. That's the difference between $145 and $507. You agreed to the advertised rate. Everything else was agreed on your behalf, right up until you knew what it was called. Every source is linked in the description. If this was useful, like and subscribe. This is where I take apart the money machines hiding inside ordinary things.